You all thought that I forgot about this franchise, didn't you? Okay, I admit it, I kinda did. Friday the 13th, Part 3 was released in 1982, directed by Steve Miner. And yeah, I started this review series all the way back in, what was it, January? And I've kind of just put this one off because honestly, Friday the 13th is not exactly one of my favorite franchises of all time. But I promised you all I would review these movies, so let's see if I can get all these cranked out before October 13th, which is a Friday, so I can rank these movies on that day. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start this review off, starting off with the good. And I'm going to be honest, this is one of my least favorites of the franchise. Not super memorable, but Jason Voorhees in this movie, just like with almost every movie in this franchise, is definitely a highlight. I really like the physical performance of the actor who plays Jason in this movie. And obviously, you get the hockey mask, which is synonymous with the character. This is the first movie that the hockey mask appears in, so I gotta give credit there. And I really like the setting of the barn in this movie. I think that it's a really cool setting, especially with how the third act went down. And you get some pretty good kills in this movie. Not best of the franchise, mind you, but you get some good kills here and there in this movie, and I just have to respect that. And also, the editing and the score also really help with the setting of this movie. You get a really great score that drives home the atmosphere of the barn setting, so I really like that. That's about all for the good, on to the bad, and like I said, this isn't exactly one of my favorites of the franchise. I know that there's quite a few people out there who think that this is one of the best. I'm unfortunately not quite there because outside of Jason, I couldn't name a single character in this movie. And I just recently rewatched this movie. Yeah, I didn't really care about any of the characters in this movie. I couldn't even tell you who the final girl was. Yeah, characters were forgettable and bland to me in this movie. Also, I said I liked the barn setting, and I do, but I feel like this movie could have used a little bit more variety in its setting because there's other places that things happen in this movie, but they keep going back to the barn, which I like the barn. I just wish there was a bit of a more variety of places and settings. And like I said, you get some good kills in this movie, but then some other kills, they're just kind of forgettable, I guess. And also, this is more just an 80s thing, but the 3D effects in this movie are so dated, it's not even funny. Like, it's just things popping out at the screen and staying there for a still image for a few minutes. Yeah, the 3D gimmick. Honestly, 3D was never one of my favorite things, but the gimmick that they use in this movie for 3D, absolutely one of my least favorite 3D films from the old school era of 3D. But that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I don't hate this movie. It's just not one of my favorites in the franchise. It's just kind of there. Friday the 13th Part 3 is it just kind of exists for me. And I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Friday the 13th Part 3. Have you seen this movie yet? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.